ago, we canoed from the Ray Roberts Dam down to Lewisville, right? And there's a couple of different takeouts along the way that you can get in or out, whatever. And then we've, canoed around here as well. I've got a kayak out here on my boat as well. A kayak that we paddle around these areas here. But I tell you, there's a really good place that I would like to check out myself is Panther Creek. So there's Cottonwood Creek. Okay. This runs into the lake here, and it goes up the other side of the tollway for its headwaters. So it, runs into that part of Frisco and McKinney. But the next creek up is Panther Creek, and that one runs above the street called Panther Creek. But it's you don't see any trash in that creek, like plastic bottles and tires, because that was in the old ranch land. So it's a very clear, very clean creek. In fact, it looks like you could actually go into the part of the lake on the other side of the peninsula here, where the park is, and if you went further enough back, you would find that creek, and you could paddle up that creek, whether it's on a paddleboard, or I've got one of those out here on my boat as well, paddleboard or a kayak, and you could paddle up, and you could, but it's very, very clean. If you go up the headwaters of Cottonwood Creek, just because of down here in the very big metropolitan area, you can see lots of plastic bottles and just trash in the creek. But again, Panther Creek, you don't see that because it's far enough north. It's in ranch land, and that creek actually flows through the new PGA development and property in Fields Park over here, and then that crosses over underneath the tollway as well. That would be a good creek to paddle, Panther Creek. This Cottonwood Creek Trail here, if you go, it comes out near Tender Barbecue, and then you can get on the Little Elm Lakefront Trail. That one will go all the way underneath 423, okay, which is where McCord Park is. But that trail parallels Cottonwood Creek, and as you ride the trail, you can look down and see the creek, and you can see where you'd be paddling, and physically cross the creek. And if you look to your left, you'll see a little pavilion down there with a big map, and that has a map of the creek, and it also has a map of the trail system. So they built a new warehouse there, distribution center, that you can just park in there because it's not open yet, and then you can walk down to see that map that I'm talking about. It's a big encased map that shows people where they'll be walking or where they might be canoeing or kayaking. From here, it'd be a really long paddle to try to get over there. I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but if you're into a whole lot of paddling to get there, you might be able to do that. But if you see it on a creek, you can look and see where there might be some access points.
Yeah.
Now to ride on the trails on bikes like I do, you can see the different access points for that, and that's real easy to get to.